Hey, this is Rob Leo. In this video, I'm going to share with you a technique you can use to facilitate an online synchronous discussion using nothing more than Zoom and Google Slides. Let me just move my Zoom to one side of the screen. I'm going to use that keyboard shortcut, Windows and right arrow, and I'm going to select my browser as the other window. So now I've got a split screen side by side, and when I do this with students, I would present my screen to them. I'd share my screen with them so they could see my presentation. What I want to do, instead of just simply clicking present, is click the little drop down arrow and go to presenter view. So imagine using slides to provide direct instruction to students. I'm just going to move this over to the side so you can see it. And candidly, you don't really need the Zoom portion of things. You just need that to speak to the students and share your screen with them. If you have two screens, great. If you have one, you can split your screen in half to see to see the view that I'm seeing right now. So you're going to notice when you do present your view, there's actually a couple of different components to it. First off, you're going to see what slide you're currently on. You're going to see the previous slide and the next slide. And if you have speaker notes, you'll notice that I'm on the speaker notes page. You'll see those notes, so it can help your lecture. Can give you some guidance in terms of what script you want to use when you deliver your direct instruction via slides. I actually want to go to the audience tools page. And here is where you can send students to a website that Google generates for you, and you can host a live question and answer session. So if you have students who don't have their cameras on, or if you want them to be more interactive during a lecture, it's a great tool to use. I'm just going to click Start New. And now that I've started it, you can see that it tells the students ask a question at slides.app.goo.gl/capital F lowercase w capital C lowercase z lowercase s. This will be different every time you generate it. And if you have younger students who aren't that skilled at typing yet, you might just want to type that up yourself in a new tab and put it in Google Classroom. That way students can just click a link on the classroom stream and they can go directly to that page. I happen to have a second device open. So if you bear with me just a second, I'm just going to type that web address in, slides.app.goo.gl / capital F lowercase w capital C lowercase z lowercase s. Once I'm here as a student, it simply says ask a question. Let me pull this up so you can see it. That's all you'll see as a student. And when you start to type your question, I'm just going to write this as a question. You'll notice that there is a couple check boxes underneath the question that you just typed. What it says on the student screen is asking as Robert Leo, and you can check a box to ask anonymously. Now, as a classroom manager, one of the strategies you could use is tell the students you want to give them credit for their questions, so don't make them check the box ask anonymously. But if a student does have a question that they want to ask anonymously, they can simply check a box. You have very little control over it. It's on the student end of things. All they have to do as a student is click submit. And what you're going to see with the audience tools is the question will appear on the screen to you, the teacher. It also appears in a running list. Sorry about that. It's also going to appear in a similar fashion for what the students see. Students can either upvote it or downvote it by clicking a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You'll see that one student has given this question a thumbs up. You can actually present this to the students so they can see that and they can see who asked the question. And again, for other students to ask questions, they can do that as well. Um, that's pretty much it. It gives you an opportunity as a teacher to see what students are thinking or what questions they may have. You can address those concerns in real time as you're presenting your lecture or your direct instruction. And you can really generate quite a bit of buzz, even if the students don't have their cameras turned on. It still provides them for a way to be engaged in the lesson by participating in a live Q&A. Also keeps you informed as a teacher so you can give feedback as you're going through your lecture. Think of this as like raising a hand and the teacher then addressing those questions But the students don't ask them out loud; they just ask them silently. Thanks for listening, and I hope you found this useful.